Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar, sixth place for you for a big Wednesday night in the NBA, including some of my favorite value plays, some injury situations we can capitalize on, some usage jumps we want to get on, and of course, my favorite play of the night. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Wednesday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy six-pack, 13 NBA games on the docket, and we've narrowed it down to 6 of my favorite plays on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays, couple things. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That's the tip jar. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when these videos are coming out. Still doing NFL videos as well. Bumping up NBA to twice a week now, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out. And lastly, guys, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer. That link in the description of the video. Tons of sports betting information, trends, analytics, premium picks as well. Just a wealth of information. If you haven't yet, go and check it out today. Scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's get into things here. Again, 13 games on the docket. Tons of injuries. COVID still wreaking havoc. If we have to adjust anything, we will do it in the comment section of the video and on Twitter. All right, let's start on the higher end of things at shooting guard, small forward, power forward, depends on your site, with DeMar DeRozan of the Bulls. So we know Chicago going to be a little bit thin on the higher end of talent, we'll say, with Zach LaVine on the shelf. Also, no Lonzo Ball in the lineup. So when we run the numbers, and we're utilizing our Court IQ tool here on RotoGrinders in our premium suite of tools, invaluable tool, in my opinion. If you're not subscribing, you are missing out, but we'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. When you take those two off the floor for Chicago, DeRozan's usage jumps almost 9%, and it gets to almost 40%, which is an absolutely ludicrous number, one of the highest numbers that you are going to see. So really going to have to do a ton here for the Chicago Bulls team. Now, I know the matchup tonight, not ideal, but you combine that tough matchup with the 13 games like we talked about, I don't think you're going to see a lot of people paying up for DeMar DeRozan tonight. So gives us a little bit of a different lineup build, gives us a guy with a nice ceiling at a low ownership. Cash games gives you a solid floor. 40% usage doesn't come along very often. Take advantage here tonight with DeMar DeRozan. All right, let's go to another guy getting a nice usage bump tonight at point guard, shooting guard, with Jordan Clarkson of the Jazz. So we know Donovan Mitchell not going to play tonight for the Utah Jazz. That means good things for a lot of these Jazz guys. Nice little bumps across the board here. But the guy that leads the way, the highest usage on the team without Donovan Mitchell, you guessed it, Jordan Clarkson at 30% with Mitchell and Hassan Whiteside off the floor here. Now, when we look at the recent play, that last game, tough shooting night for him. Did not shoot the ball well at all. You look at the games before that, 30 or more DraftKings points in 3 straight games. Now no Donovan Mitchell, so I think you get a nice combination like we talked about with DeMar DeRozan. A solid floor here with Clarkson, that usage bump, and we know the ceiling with Mitchell off the floor. He's going to have to do that much more on the offensive side of the floor. Mid-fives on both sides is an absolute steal. My favorite play in the mid-range here on Wednesday night. All right, let's go down low, get you a power forward center next with JAREN Jackson Jr. of the Grizzlies. So Memphis, another team, going to be without a lot of their better players here. No Dillon Brooks, no Kyle Anderson, also no Desmond Bane. Now, when you think about these 3 guys, you're thinking more small forward, shooting guard type players, and that would mean more of a bump for some of those positions. And Ja Morant certainly gets a bump as well. I think D'Anthony Melton may have to play more minutes here. But again, when we run the numbers, it shows JAREN Jackson Jr. atop the list in fantasy points per minute. In fact, over 1.5 fantasy points per minute with those 3 off the floor, which is a very nice number. You do some of the math on his salaries here, and you'll see why that makes a lot of sense. And we've seen the ceiling here out of Triple J of late. 39 or more DraftKings points now in half of the last 10 games he's played. He's gone for 50 or more twice over the last 6. So add it all up. Those guys off the floor, the fantasy points per minute, and the ceiling he's shown here, especially on DraftKings at just 6,600. Love me some Triple J here tonight. All right, let's go back to the mid-range once again at point guard with Reggie Jackson of the Clippers. So we know Kawhi Leonard been on the shelf all season long. Paul George also going to miss once again here tonight. So that takes 2 of your high-end usage players off the court for the Clippers. We'll see if they get Luke Kennard back in that lineup, but biggest usage bump obviously goes to Reggie Jackson. It jumps him over 30% with those 2 guys off the floor. Now, not been shooting the ball well of late. In fact, over the last 5, 6, 7 games, That has been what ails Reggie Jackson and the production here. He will snap out of that sooner or later, but the encouraging part is 14 or more shots down, 8 of the last 10, so it's not slowed him down. And we know he can contribute in a bunch of different categories as well. So if he continues to shoot the ball at this rate, they are going to start going in sooner or later. I'm banking on that starting here tonight. Reggie Jackson gives us a nice ceiling at a mid-range price point. All right, let's get you some more value. We'll stay at point guard, shooting guard with Davion Mitchell of the Kings. That's personally one of my favorite younger players in the league. I think it's only a matter of time before he breaks through here. We're hearing a lot of trade rumors surrounding De'Aaron Fox recently here with the Sacramento Kings, but for tonight, we have Tyrese Halliburton on the shelf. So that's going to clear the way for more minutes, more usage here for Davion Mitchell. And he showed us the upside that he has, going for almost 40 DraftKings points last night. And what I love most, we talk about it a lot here in the videos, a guy that can contribute across the stat sheet. So if the shot's not falling, does not matter. He's a guy that can get down and dirty, get you those steals, those blocks, the rebounds, the assists, going to hit every single category on the stat sheet. And you got to love this matchup here with this Detroit Pistons team, who's been terrible defensively this year. 8th most fantasy points allowed to shooting guard. If he's playing the point guard position, 3rd most fantasy points allowed there. So the beauty of this one, no matter how this game plays out, if Detroit decides to fall on their face here, Davion Mitchell should see a ton of minutes, ton of usage. Get him in those lineups at sub 5K on both sides. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Wednesday night in the NBA. Before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Free to play, easy to play. And this is a thank you to you guys for watching the video, hitting that thumbs up button, and supporting the Fantasy Bar. All you have to do, get in the comment section right below the video and get fantasy points. We'll go with FanDuel tonight for my favorite play of the night. The closest guess will win themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. This will give you a chance to check out Court IQ, which we're always talking about, Lineup HQ, to build those lineups. So without further ado, my favorite play for Wednesday night, you know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We've mostly hammered away in the mid-range, some cheap plays, so we could once again spend up here at the end on point guard, shooting guard, Kyrie Irving of the Nets, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, we know Kevin Durant going to be out for a couple weeks here for the Brooklyn Nets. We know Nick Claxton also will not play here tonight for the Nets, but we know the loss of Durant going to open up a ton of usage, a ton of shots here. Now, James Harden obviously also gets a nice boost, but let's compare these two and their prices. You're getting a massive discount off of Kyrie Irving. In fact, up to $2,000 cheaper than what we get with James Harden. The numbers look pretty similar here. I know James Harden has a higher ceiling than Kyrie Irving, but usage at almost 5% leap here and averaging over 1.3 fantasy points per minute in this scenario without Durant. Harden just at 1.45. So yes, it's higher, but does it justify that $2,000 cost? That's my question. I think you save some money here with Kyrie Irving, easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Wednesday night in the Fantasy Bar. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and the picks. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, that comment section is there for you. Let me know who your favorite play of the night is. Who's your Beast of the Night? Sound off in that comment section, and don't forget fantasy points on FanDuel for Kyrie Irving for your shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck here tonight in the NBA. NFL videos coming out tomorrow, and we'll be back on Friday with more NBA. Don't forget to go check out scoresandodds.com/beer. Link in the description of the video. Once again, thank you for watching, guys. Enjoy the NBA tonight. Best of luck, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist